She's as rebellious as I used to know her. But she's different now, in every sense of the word. Much like the world around us.
Come. Even if it's not a heavily patrolled area, it's not entirely safe. We need to move before the state's...
Hello and welcome to 41 Hours, a free indie game you can grab on Steam. I will skip those cartoon story videos. Those are really cool, but I'm trying to showcase the game only to keep the momentum going. You can pause the screen to read them if you like. So we have our MP7 and we're in a pretty countryside. I'm hearing a goat. There it is. And it's running off. Alright, I'm not going to chase the goat all the way. You guys want to see the game proper. This guy reminds me of a dead stalker with the guitar. And I don't have any ammo. The assets are nice, but it's very obvious that this is generate... Oh, look, a cow. It's a nice touch that they have the animals. As I was going to say, the assets are nice, but it's very clear that this is generated terrain with trees plopped on. It doesn't look like a real countryside. It looks like an Unreal Engine level. Not the worst thing that could happen. I mean, everything looks competent, but it's not very immersive. But the animals are great. Oh yeah, I need to send out my magical girlfriend to blow this soldier up. With her kinetic powers. It's a nice touch that they have this, but it's also a bit convoluted. And I missed. Got him.
When the Demiurge created me, he gave me an invaluable optical tweezer.
As I said, I will skip the cutscenes. You can check them out if you like to. It's not the point of the video, really. Oh, I can cloak. That's also cool. The game has a lot of features which it introduces gradually, and that's fine, but it's a bit convoluted. There are designated buttons for everything. It would have been interesting if there was a selection wheel that would come up if you press the middle mouse button or something. You get used to it after a while, but at first it's all a bit much. Hostiles. It's fast-paced and responsive. Plays a bit like a Serious Sam game, which I personally think is a bit at odds with the story, but it's fun to play at least. It's also nice that all these buildings have interiors, even if I just run in and grab the med and ammo packs. And we have bullet holes. The animations are competent, but nothing to write home about. Sound design is really good too. They put a lot of effort in the music, which you will hear later on. It's a bit basic otherwise, but it's there. Alright, invisible magical girlfriend. And she disappears again. Ah yes, the bad guys seem to really be the bad guys. Assuming that they killed these civilians. It's a lot of fun that they instantly just die when you slide into them. Here I'm trying to pick up this rifle, but it's one of those games where you can't pick up the enemy guns, which I always just hate. I mean, why? Why not? Why not, woman? I've already been in this building. Cozy, actually. It's all just set dressing. I've always been a fan of the interactive environments we used to have in games. In the Source Engine games and Duke Nukem Forever, just classic shooters where you could flush the toilet and stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't really add to the core gameplay, but it makes everything a little bit more immersive. I always prefer that over these entirely static environments where I just blast through at Mach speed. Speaking of speed, I wonder... Let's save the game. Speaking of speed, I wonder how fast my character really can run, because this isn't human speed. MPH-wise, I mean. There's some machine back there.
Roger that. Keep the
It's a nice touch with those dandelion seed particles in the wind.
Keep the distance.
Oh, they all have the same wall art, it seems. This is the point where I find out that I can't shoot out the window, which is just super lame. Headshots are working, that is good to know. The music is well composed, but it's a bit overbearing. Bum, bum. Da 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 bum. The game gets to be a little more interesting later on. But it's competent so far. Let's jog over here. Yeah, that's at least 60 MPH. Slide feature is really cool, and I'm probably going to add this to my own game. I'm almost dead. I found an XM8. Which is actually one of my favorite prototype weapon designs. It used to be so cool in the early 2000s. By now it's almost repetitive for realistic. It's strange how quickly perception on these things change. But I can see that the US military didn't adopt it. It just doesn't anything that the M4 or the M16 can't do. Solid animation once again, but given that the game is extremely fast-paced, it's strange that the reload animations are so slow and methodical. This is still the greatest feature, just ramming into someone. Huh. Cow dropped house. Thank you. Your incredibly glitchy death was not for nothing. I've also turned off the frame limiter, but it's still running, capped at 60 FPS. That's not a problem for me because I have a 60 Hz monitor. But someone with a higher refresh rate will likely not want to have this. There we go. A leveling system. See, I uncapped the frame rate. Let's cap it at 90 and see if it goes higher. You can see the FPS in the top left corner, by the way. Top right corner, I'm sorry. No, it's still kept at 60. Well, fair enough.
You have your weapons now.
Alright.
Let's see how we can find the demiurge and disable my self.
It's nice that I can switch the scopes on the fly, but I really just press a button and bam, new scope. Bam, new scope. It's a bit funny. It's an interesting choice that I can really see what is behind me in the reflection of the scope. You see? I can see Leah. And she disappeared again. Damn it, woman! Typical woman, you get used to them and they disappear in a blue mist. Am I right, fellas? This is a really cool effect. Look how it distorts everything around it. Alrighty then. Oh, an infiltration mission, that's always nice. To the game's credit, it does keep it simple. It has very nice ground clutter, but that is nothing unusual in the Unreal Engine. Which is an unfortunate thing to say, because people get used to these incredible advancements in graphics very fast. And I do still a lot of media and effects by hand for my own game, and when I show it to people now, it's like, yeah, of course it looks good, it's Unreal Engine 5. And it's like, no! There's a lot of handcrafted stuff in there. It used to get more noticed when I was still making stuff in Game Guru, where every single animated thing was something to behold, you know. When you work in Unreal Engine, people expect a lot more from you. Which is fair. I'm not really complaining, just mentioning. The AI in the game is competent enough, I think. It doesn't do anything special, but it's reactive. And I've seen some major glitchy games with broken AI. I don't feature everything on the channel. The stuff I show is usually at least somewhat competent. Because I don't want to be one of the channels that's just shitting all over some indie game that someone still might have spent a lot of time making. I'm getting the feeling that these animations have not been made for this game. I'm not saying that I'm sure, it's just they're at odds with the game speed. This is actually pretty cool. She can open a wormhole.
These wormholes... I couldn't find a way to travel back. I managed to find a...
The cutscenes are competently drawn too. I'm going to teleport my ass straight into this force field. Bam, and I'm dead. Yes, that was my fault.
Sure.
Alright, honey. She can just phase through this force field, I see.
I'm in.
I don't really understand why I, the player character, have powers too. I mean, I can cloak. And now I can slow down time, which will happen now soon. Is she projecting that onto me, or do I have magical powers just like she does? Nobody knows, and it's not very important. How can you fuck up the hitboxes on a crate? Damn it! Alrighty then. The levels are really under-detailed here. I mean, it's fine, it does the job, but it's also not really something you enjoy walking through. Oh, these explosions are a bit disappointing. I think that's a universal gamer thing where everyone agrees that we want our exploding barrels to really have a nice big explosion, and this is just lame. I don't want to sound like I hate the game. It's fair, it's fair. It's decent enough. This is the Prologue, which is free on Steam. There's also a $20 version, which I will likely not buy. Personally, this has not really convinced me that I want to spend money on it. Again, just personal preference. The human enemies are fun to fight, and they integrated these vectors really good, but those machines that show up are just infuriating. It's a very difficult thing to do in an FPS, to design enemies that are both fun to fight and challenging to fight. I mean, we all know enemies in games that are just irritating. For most people it's things that fly, like drones or little flying creatures, or the cliff racers in Morrowind. For me it's small machines that take a lot of bullets. Like the drones in this game, the drones in the Deus Ex series are drones. You know, people often say that objective markers dumb games down and players will just follow them like a zombie and not taking in the environment. But there are many, many types of games where they really have a place to be. And this is one of them. Armor piercing rounds seems to be the default. I don't get full metal jacket rounds, it would seem. Being able to slide like this is the best feature in the game. At this point I was thinking that this telescopic thing out there I'm looking at right now this here is the balcony I'm supposed to get up on, but it's not. So the rest of the video is just me trying to solve this crate puzzle, which is anyway not what I'm supposed to do. I think you have a pretty good feeling of what this game is like and how it plays. So if you want to shut it off here, I'm not going to be disappointed in you. So yes, final verdict. Decent game, competent game. Some features are a bit hit and miss. It plays very fast, it's very responsive. Can be a bit boring. Some of the combat sequences drag a little. And the player is also very vulnerable. There is a leveling up system, so maybe that changes after you grind a bit, but at first enemies do a lot of damage and spawn a lot of those little drones and machines that can really screw you over. So yes, if any of this interests you, there will be links in the description. It's fair enough, but I don't think I will do another video on this game. It's not exactly my cup of tea. Thanks for watching. This is me signing off. See you next time. Bye.
The information from the log